Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 14 of Wealth of Patience. My name is Angad Gujral, and my vision is to create a community of individuals who are passionate about building long term wealth. In today's episode, I want to go more into financial education and go over some of the concepts that I've been learning in preparation for my upcoming finance midterm and just go over some of the concepts. And talking to my dad, I've understood there's a lot of overlap between the concepts I'm learning and real life as is. So let's get right into it. I want to talk about venture capitalists and how that works on the equity side. And then I also want to talk about um, just internal rate of return and how important it is to determine projects. So let's get right into it. So, one of the big concepts, this is in chapter 15 of our studying, but one of the big concepts that we're learning right now is venture capitalist. So, what is a venture capitalist? They're basically people who give you money in exchange for having stocks in your company. So, how does that work? They usually are people with a lot of wealth and they know someone who's like starting a cool company and they're like, okay, I want to get into this. So they give that person a large amount of money, usually upwards of like $10,000, and they get a big percentage of the company. And as a venture capitalist, what are you looking for in a company? You're looking for financial strength. You're looking for a good management style. You're looking for management style that aligns with your own. From the company side, what are you looking for? You're looking for someone who has long term patience. You're looking for someone who can provide some expertise. So let's say if you're a pool company, you want someone who's a venture capitalist who has that experience of being who, of organizing a swimming pool or running a swimming pool. So any of those experiences is what you look for. Um, why would a venture capitalist, so why would I put in like $10,000 into a company that I barely know much about? First of all, you shouldn't know much about them. You should try to learn as much as you can through the founders about the company before you put in money. But the goal is usually one of two reasons: an M&A, so a merger and acquisition, or an IPO, so an initial public offering. So your whole goal is to get in early. Hopefully, the company uses that financing to grow itself, get bigger and bigger, get more money in. Um, and then at the end, the company goes public and you cash out, make a lot of money, or the company gets bought by a bigger company such as a Google or an Apple or one of the big, like a multi-billion-dollar company, and the company gets sold for 40-50 million dollars, and your $10,000 initial investment turns into like 500,000, for example. So those are both like best case scenarios. Unfortunately, a lot of startup firms do go under and venture capitalists end up losing all of their money. And that's why a lot of times there's all kinds of different methods in which they issue securities. I talked about IPO, that's like the traditional offer. But there's different types of ways in which they can enlist their shares to the public. So there is, in the public method, there's like a firm commitment cash offers. So you're basically negotiating a deal with the investment banker. You're trying to get them to get the shares. Best efforts is you're putting in your best efforts. You're trying to sell as many shares as you can. Dutch auction, it's like a traditional auction. I want a share for $5. I want a share for $6. I want a share for $7. Then you have um I think privileged subscription, and then in that you have direct rights offer and standby rights offer. So basically you direct rights. People who have shares, you get direct rights. You get direct ability to buy more shares. Standby rights kind of sets aside for you, and whenever you want, you can cash it and get your shares in. There's non-traditional cash offers, and where there's self cash offers. So you have your shares put in on a shelf where you can kind of just have it on a lockup period and then sell it whenever you need to. There's also a competitive firm cash offer, which is You use underwriters, so people who kind of negotiate between the public and the company, like those people step in and kind of like take over the deal. And then you have direct placement offers. So this is kind of what I have been into, um, with my, or what venture capitalists would be into as well, where you kind of just buy the shares privately from the people selling it. Venture capitalists would still go with the intent of an IPO, but this would be, for example, people are using equity fundraising. So this would be an example for that, where you kind of just get the share securities in through a direct placement. So these are kind of the different methods of how venture capitalists can raise funds. And I think it's very important to understand how the company goes public to really understand what you're doing when you're putting your money in. This was a very short episode, but I hope you learned a lot out of it. And I hope to see you next episode.